Is it even possible for a Sith to become a Force ghost? And the answer is, sort of, but not really. So let's dive into it.
This is the way. This is the way.
So Force ghosts, or Force spirits, are temporary states of being that some Jedi were able to attain after death, one where they can retain their identity separate from the Force for a while. It's an ability that not every Jedi can attain. It's a sort of intermediate state between life and what comes after. These Force ghosts can interact with the physical world and can even converse with the living, as long as they are powerful enough in the Force. They can even travel across the galaxy to planets that are strong in the Force. The ability didn't necessarily have to be learned and could be achieved by denying the will of the Force upon death, or committing a selfless act of sacrifice. The Jedi would often disappear because their physical body would turn into pure energy in the Force, though this wasn't the case for Qui-GON Jinn because his training was incomplete. We first saw in the movies Obi-Wan Kenobi attain this as the Force Ghost in The Empire Strikes Back, but in the story, Qui-GON Jinn was the first to rediscover the ability after he was taught the secret by the Shaman of the Whills. He later guided Yoda to these Shaman who revealed the secret to retain one's individuality after becoming one with the Force. Yoda later imparted this training onto Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of Revenge of the Sith as he went into hiding on Tatooine. In the novel and the comic book for Revenge of the Sith, Qui-GON Jinn tells Yoda that becoming a Force ghost can only be done by those who use the light side of the Force, and it is something Darksiders cannot learn because Sith were more interested in gaining immortality. As Qui-GON Jinn mentions in the novel, the ultimate goal of the Sith is eternal life, yet they can never achieve it. It comes only through the release of self, not the exaltation of self. It comes through compassion, not greed. Love is the answer to the darkness. While the Sith couldn't become a Force ghost per se, they could preserve their essence, which is what Palpatine uses to survive his fall in Return of the Jedi. He utilizes a Force ability called essence transfer to move his consciousness into a clone on Exegol. Darth Plagueis, Palpatine's former master, did learn how to preserve himself after death, but he wasn't interested in it because he wanted to seek a physical immortality. Surprisingly, Darth Vader did learn of the ability through Darth Sidious, and when Vader died after sacrificing himself, the spirits of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda completed Anakin's training, which allowed him to take the last step in becoming a Force ghost. Other Siths could bind their spirits to objects or locations, which allowed the Sith Lords to remain bound to the physical world for centuries, which ended up driving them mad being trapped in the physical world. While the Jedi Force ghosts were essentially freed into the netherworld after death, the Sith Force ghosts are trapped by death to a relic or a location. So while the Sith have their different techniques to preserve themselves, when it comes down to it, only light side users can attain the true Force ghost. As we dive into Ahsoka, perhaps it will shed some light on how Anakin appears to Ahsoka. If he is a Force ghost, essentially he will be a force for good, pun totally intended. But if he's not actually Anakin and just pretending to be Anakin, then that means there's some nefarious power at play. So there you go, and a shout out to Doug from Not Your Status Quo for suggesting today's topic. If you want to see me cover something from Star Wars and need some extra insight, please let me know in the comments and I'll put it on the list. So thanks for joining me today on Fatherly Phantom, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And from our families to yours, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.